purpose of this video is to show how to add a new event of the type of show. So let's see what that looks like currently. So if we go to events and we go to Dahlia show, we have this Dahlia show from this year, so 2024. So it's 36th annual Dahlia show. So now we want to create a new Dahlia show for 2025. It's going to be 37. So the way we do that is, first of all, we log in. And we want to use a user ID that has the editor role. Okay. So we're currently on events. And if I look here, I can filter on show and only see the occasions that are called show by clicking here. So we only have one event of type show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, so here's the original, here's the new one. I'm going to do a quick edit to change this name here. So I want it to be 37th. And I'm just going to change this to say test so that we don't get confused. It's already over here. I have the type as marked as show. We're calling this type event occasions. And then down here it's currently marked as 2024. Now if we didn't already have a 2025, we would have to create that. So maybe I'll save this and then I'll show you how to create another year there. So under events, you go to years. That's the other taxonomy. And we've already got 25, but I would just go ahead and create it this way. I'd say 2026. Slug is the same. The slug is like the version for the computer. So, for instance, if this was a word, we would have capital letters for each word, and we'd have spaces in between words. In the slug, we'd use all lowercase, and we'd put dashes in between each word. So that's the difference. Hierarchical, this is not important for the year. There's no hierarchy, but if you had some other kind of type, you might have a hierarchy where you would have a parent and a child relationship. You could put the description, the year of the show, but this year could be used for other types of events, so I'd just leave it blank. Anyway, you would say add new. So now you have it. Well, it's at the top right now, but normally it would be at the bottom. So let's go back to events, all events, and let's do an actual edit here. Okay, so we're on this 37th, and a couple of things. So first thing is that down here I want to change the date of the event to be 2025. Now these aren't the years that we entered as types, these are just actual years. 2025, and we still want September 13th. Right there. Okay, so now it says 2025. So we changed that. Another thing I want to change is up here. We have a picture here. This is what we call a featured image. So I'm going to say replace. Goes to the media library. I'm just going to pick a different picture. Save that. So now we have a new picture there. Here I'm going to change this to say 37. Change this to the 13th. Anyway, that's good enough. You get the idea. So now we'll publish this. Okay. hit save, but I'm always paranoid that I'm going to forget to save it. So let's just go back one more time and look at all events. So here it is. It says show years 2025. So the way this works is on the main page. I'm going to go to visit site. That brings up our home page, which in our case is the welcome page. But I'm going to go to the events, Dahlia show, and now you can see it's the new event. So this particular page here is set up to show only one event of type show and the newest. So since we made this the newest, there it is. And so here we have September 13th, but that's where we changed that. I know this isn't correct, but it's just for training purposes. So that's it for that. How to add a new event of type show. Okay, there's a couple more things I wanted to show you that are not really directly related to adding a show event. One of them is that we go to the dashboard. I've given the editor a few more options. One is up here under Breeze. You can now purge all cache. So cache stores information so that it'll load faster. But if you've made recent changes, like you've added some events maybe, and you want people to see those new events right away, then you want to clear out the cache so that they're forced to see, they're forced to download the new content. That way they'll see the new changes. Otherwise, they'll be looking at stale content for maybe 24 hours. So that's what purge all cache is for. The other thing is I gave the editor access to the Forminator. So this is where I created the form that we're using, which is right here. But the reason I gave you access to this is actually so you could look at the submissions. So I know that you'll get an email every time somebody submits the form, but emails can be lost. So this gives you a second place that you can look for a record. So if you click on submissions, it'll come up here. It's not showing you anything yet because it wants to make sure that you choose the correct form that you want to see. So we have these two forms. The contact form isn't really configured correctly. It's just a default form. PayPal is the form that we created, and it's all configured, of course. So we make sure we've got PayPal selected, and then we click Show Submissions. And so far, we just have the one that I created the other day. I created it as a new member. I chose individual $50, and there's 20 other fields. If I click this little down arrow, it'll open this up so you can see all the fields that I filled in. Just some bogus information here. And then you'll notice here it says $1. That's because I temporarily changed the price to $1 because I didn't want to pay $50 for a test. So you can close this up just by clicking the up arrow here. So now we can go back and look at the forms here. And again, this contact form is just default. It's not correctly configured or anything. Here's the PayPal form. We come over here, we can click Edit. And the main reason you'd want to do this is if you wanted to change the price or some other terms. So under Plan here, you go way over to the right and click this little gear icon. The first option is Edit Field. So you can see here we have Plan, and there's two options: individual $50, household 2 people $60. This is just text that's going to appear. It's not the actual value that's going to be used in calculating your total. See that? You just go up here to Calculations, and now you can see that the label individual $50 has the value of 50, and the label household two people $60 has the value of 60. So what I did for my test was I just changed that top value there to $1 to 1, and then I applied it there. So we don't want to do that, so I won't hit apply, I won't change it. And that's the main reason you would want to maybe change this form. And then after you change the form and change any field here, then you have to go click update here. And you could also click preview just to see what that's going to look like. So here's the plan, and it just shows the text. It doesn't show the values here. But what you can see is if you click that $50 individual there, down here you can see it actually says 50, whereas if I had changed it to 1, then this would show $1. So I'm just going to close that. So those are the two things I wanted to show you in terms of access that you didn't have before. The other thing I wanted to show you is that we now have two versions of the instructions. So right now, if you go to membership, you scroll down. So here are the two buttons that we discussed. Print and mail will open up the PDF. And so here's your instructions for option 1 for print and mail. And then button number 2 is pay online. Here's your instructions for option 2. And then here's this important notice that you only want to do one of these. Don't do both of them, please. So now if we go look at other pages, like if we go back to the welcome page, I've added the same thing in each of these footers. So it has the instructions on the top and then the buttons down below. But this seems to be a rather cumbersome for a footer. So what I did is I created another option here. If you go back to Dahlia Show and you scroll to the bottom, it has a different version of the footer here where it just says click the button to open the membership page. You will have the option to pay online or print and mail a form with your check. After submitting, please attend the meeting and introduce yourself to members of the board. We look forward to meeting you. And this is the button that takes them back to the membership. I like that version better, but I wanted to leave the option up to you. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to show you. Thanks.